Welcome back to Black Mesa. I'm Blastinus. We're going to be starting Apprehension here from a fresh save, so yeah, plug your ears again. Now you remember last episode we found this yellow cart, and it's already broken. Sorry about the little bit of stuttering there. Yeah, don't have external programs open while you're trying to record is all I'm saying. You'll see it a couple more times in the early part of the episode, but then it'll go away. Anywho, Objective 1. We need to find a way to not drown. Mission accomplished. Now, Objective 2. There's going to be a cage in the main room full of these oddly buoyant red barrels. Our objective, obviously, is going to be to find some more barrels in order to raise it, in order to bring a platform up in order to get out of here. Fairly simple, and the Definitive Edition patch made it even simpler because it used to be that there were like 4 barrels, and now they dropped it down to like just 3. Yeah, there are even some rooms that you don't even need to go into anymore. So I don't. Yeah. If you think that you're going to be getting like 100% full exploration out of this, then you're going to be a little gravely disappointed. What do you mean you hit them? Yeah, these folks, their dialogue is a little bit Mad Libs, I'm going to say. Like, I feel like that's going to need a bit of an editing pass later on. This game is still unfinished, while they call it the Definitive Edition. You're going to be doing a lot more patching later on in order to fix whatever thingies kind of crop up after the patch goes through. So I guess welcome to the public beta test.
Oh, God damn it!
I would love to know what happened here. Like, did they really get owned by head crabs? By the way, one change that I forgot to mention is that Definitive Edition greatly increased the speed that you get first aid and HEV charge from those wall-mounted things, so yeah, that's a welcome change. Also, check out this guy. Yeah, I shot at him once and he didn't even react. I've been noticing this a few times in the Definitive Edition, like sometimes the AI doesn't seem to load, and the Marines just kind of start staring at walls. Kind of bizarre. Alrighty. Well, the way forward is clear. There might be a little bit of confusion as to where to go next, so yeah, the Black Mesa team put down these blue flares in order to guide us to our next destination. All good. Although, we're not going to be able to swim around tranquilly forever, but we'll get to that soon. Now this is a bit of an odd puzzle. If you pull that valve on the left, then it releases gas which explodes in your face. So what you actually have to do is turn on the sprinklers first, and then, well, actually there's no use for this valve whatsoever afterwards. It's just meant to be a bit of a sadistic trap. Oh well. So, here's the meat and potatoes of this chapter. Meet the ichthyosaur. Yeah. We don't have a weapon that can really allow us to go toe-to-toe with it yet, but the game does freely allow us to get into the water with that beastie, whether on purpose or by accident. And it's not a good idea. No, it's very much not a good idea. Especially since the floor here is actually slick from water, so if you're not careful you can just slide right in. Oh, but check this out. Power slide. Heck yeah.
Did you see it? They claim it was hauled from the Challenger Deep, but I'm positive that beast hasn't swam in terrestrial waters until a week ago. There is a tranquilizer gun in the shark cage. I'm not sure it would work on this particular species. You're more than welcome to try your hand.
Well, what were they working on before the ichthyosaur showed up? I mean, we're going to get into the water just now, and I don't see any, like, whale carcasses or something.
Look out, Freeman! Look out!
Yeah, boy. Yeah, this thing's going to be right on top of us. Or, at least it should be. Where is this thing? Oh, great, I'm drowning, so, yeah. It's time to leave the safety of the shark cage. I don't like this. You see, what happened was the ichthyosaur got itself caught on a column here. What it's actually supposed to do is it's supposed to start like charging the cage, but in a way that we can't actually be hurt, in order to demonstrate how to fight the thing while in a safe environment. Let's see if we can get a better take on that.
Look out, Freeman! Look out!
Yeah, see, this is more like it. It's actually kind of a genius move on Valve's part with this whole shark cage thing. We haven't had to do aquatic combat a whole lot before, especially not with something so aggressive. So giving us some place where we can safely fight it and sort of get our bearings, you know, it's actually a lot more of a genius move than if they had just thrown us into the deep end right off the bat. Pun entirely intended. Although, there is one more aquatic creature that was not in Black Mesa, but was in the original. So, it's time to go back to the original.
Welcome to the HEV Mark IV Protective System for use in hazardous environment conditions.
Yeah, don't worry about the fact that we just died instantly. That's sort of like the Half-Life experience. This game, when it came out, was a little bit jank. For instance, if you bailed out at just the right time, you could skip that whole raise it platform in order to get through segment entirely. And here we are. Small loading screen. So, these are the things that were cut from the original Half-Life. They're called leeches, because they're leeches. And, you know, they're inconsistent, their hitbox is tiny, and they'll just kind of nibble you to death, so overall, I kind of get why they're not in the original game. Or rather, they were in the original game, but now they're not in Black Mesa. And I don't think anyone mourns their absence, but I had to show it off anyway because they're going to be relevant in a later game. And just as a bonus, here's the shark cage sequence. Yeah, in some ways, the original Half-Life was even crueler than the remake. Although, perhaps its level design is a little bit more static, like rather than having the platform get broken up a little bit. Instead, it is just sort of a straight shot, albeit across a slick floor. I mean, you can still fall in, but it's a whole lot less likely.
Did you see it? They said it was hauled from the Challenger Deep. I'm positive that beast never swam in terrestrial waters until a week ago. There's a tranquilizer gun in the shark cage. I'm not sure it would work on this species. You're welcome to try.
I'm actually using what's called Half-Life Source, a Valve released re-release of Half-Life that was released around the same time as Half-Life 2. Mostly its claim to fame is ragdoll physics and very nice water. Otherwise, it looks just about as ugly as it used to in the 90s. Although I guess back in the 90s this would have been seen as the height of graphical engineering. As it is though, like the ichthyosaur just looks like freakier than its remake version. Also, there is one other weapon that works underwater. Yep, it's the Glock, our measly handgun. If you run out of crossbow, this is what you have to work with. Joy. Anyhow, back to our pretty modern game. I guess that's sort of a precursor of what you have to look forward to when I do blue shift and opposing force. Yeah, things are going to look somewhat jank. And oh yes, while there is only one mandatory encounter with an ichthyosaur, at least somewhat mandatory, like you do have to open that underwater door, so I guess if you don't kill it, you're in for a bad time. But anyway, all the other encounters are entirely optional, and, well, I don't want to do them. I hate sharks, I hate underwater segments, and I absolutely, you know what, I hate fighting anything that is just, what's the word? It's sort of like a fear of the unknown, I guess. When you're not in your element and something could be attacking you from literally any angle, like that is somewhat unnerving, you know? Also, hi guys. I think I would kind of feel the same way if I was stuck in like an aerial combat segment. Also, wow. Check this out. Oh dear. Why are these guys so thin? It's somewhat hard to shoot them in the head. Though, why do they call this a tranquilizer gun? It works just about the same as any other gun. Like, if we're tranquilizing them, they are, like, comatose. Like, they will not get up again. Also, check out this segment. There's just so much stuff that's like falling down and trying to trip you up so that you accidentally fall into the water. Like, take this jump here. If you're not going at full sprint, you are going to trip up and you are going to fall. So, yeah. I think this ichthyosaur might have also glitched out a little bit. I don't know, because yeah, normally you'd be seeing it like swimming back and forth as sort of like a faint silhouette in the water. Oh yeah, and don't go too quickly, otherwise... Wait, hold on. That thing there, I didn't notice it the first time, but that's a Half-Life 2 subtitle. What the heck is that doing there? Oh wait, anyway, yeah. if you do fall in the water, that ladder will get you out. Just don't use the ladder to go into the water, because you might get yourself a bit of a nasty surprise. Yeah, that was a bit of a disastrous first take. Anyway, you see that hanging electrical cable there? Yeah, that thing will shock you if you try to jump through it, but I'm going to be frank with you here. I don't care. There's probably a better way to do this segment. Like, if you kill the ichthyosaur, you can just go through underwater, but I don't want to do it. Like I said, this little area here past the cage door is safe for the most part, but still I end up like sort of scrambling away, trying desperately to get out of the water as quickly as possible. Like, this is no joke. Like, I am terrified of the water. And it's sort of like I had to take a little bit of a while to tell myself, yeah, I'm out, I'm safe. You might have seen there, by the way, that there was a short, like, bit of the G-Man, like, walking away. I'll bet he didn't have to swim to get there. And now, we're up to the, what is it, like the second or third new idea in this chapter? Yeah, platforming through working machinery. I mean, we've had a little bit of platforming before, like having to go over all those crates, but, you know, they were kind of immobile objects. This time, the platforms are going up and down, and if you hesitate, you know, you go squish. So there's a little bit of panic that's added to the platforming, so you can't really concentrate on getting the jumps just right. I see you there, buddy. Yeah, eventually, though, like, after I muff this jump, well, not this jump, the next one, I decide that, well, yeah, this is a game with physics in it, so we are a scientist, not some sort of dungeon man. And I don't think they would have given us this stack of crates if they didn't think that we could be given an alternative route. Like, the folks at Black Mesa don't just throw things in order to throw things in. They knew precisely what they were giving people. And honestly, I thank them for that. Like, not everybody is a good platformer. Hey, doggy. Honestly, after everything else, this whole segment here just feels a little bit odd. Like, you know, previous chapters sort of have a theme to them, and you think that, you know, the aquatic side would be the theme, like fighting sharks in different set pieces. But then we get to this segment here where they're about to introduce a brand new mechanic.
Gordon Freeman, it is you, isn't it? The science team has been tracking your progress with the Black Mesa security system. Unfortunately, so has the military. That suit of yours is full of tracking devices. Still, it's better than going naked in this place. It's cold in there, so you'll have to hurry. It could sap your suit power in a matter of moments. If you're bent on reaching the Lambda complex, then you'll want to keep to the older industrial areas where the security system is full of holes. It's worked for me, so far.
So yeah, as he's saying, this deep freeze area actually drains your suit power while you're in it. So you have to kind of sprint through and just avoid all encounters. Like, don't worry actually about fighting things, just take care of whatever's in your path, and it's over. Yeah, that was definitely worth that lengthy explanation, wasn't it? I kind of feel like Apprehension is just kind of where they threw all the various mechanics that they didn't really have a place to put anywhere else. Like, there's a whole lot of stuff here where it doesn't really gel together that well. I mean, we'll see sort of callbacks to some of the things we see here in later chapters, but for the most part, Apprehension's theme is a lot harder to pin down. By the way, yeah, that whole mention about our suit being full of tracking devices, it does sort of explain why it is that we keep on running into Heku in very odd and out-of-the-place areas. Like, they are bent on dealing with us personally, and so they're just setting up ambushes along the way. But if you thought that we were finished with gimmicks, well, here's the last one, and it's kind of a weird one.
Freeman, right? I got a message for you. Make sure you don't...
Did you see that? Well, I'd be surprised if you did, if you don't know what you're looking for. Yeah. This place is full of assassins. An entire, like, all-woman, black-clad group of hit-and-run artists. Now you might ask, what does that have to do with the military? Well, I think all the reasoning for it began and ended with, well, what if Gordon Freeman fought ninjas? I mean, it was the 90s. Ninjas were kind of the thing back then. You couldn't not have ninjas. Yeah, overall though, they're kind of fragile, and their pistols don't actually pack that much of a punch. It's just that they fire so quickly, and then they run away before you can respond. It's very easy to get worn down if you're not careful. I think we've gotten all of them, but it's hard to tell. Like, there could be half a dozen ninjas you can't even see right now. Well, as long as they don't fight us, as they continue to be ninjas, then we're gonna be okay with one another. Ah, crap. There's actually an achievement for using a magnum to take out one of these Heku assassins. And, well, yeah, it's a lot harder than you think, because they don't pause very often. It's a lot easier just to use a rapid-fire weapon and hope to take them down by attrition. Although, these are some very interesting footwear accessories. Maybe we'll see those in the future. I don't know. Still though, back in On a Rail it was nighttime and it's already daytime, so we'll just head up to the surface and I'll see you guys next chapter.
Get him!
Major medical attention.
Nice hit. That's the guy? Yeah. We got him. Alright, come on, give me a hand here. guy's heavy. Where are we taking this Freeman guy? Topside. For questioning. What the hell for? We got him. Why not just kill him now? And if they find the body? Hey, what body?